So there we go. Okay, and we're done. See that? Pretty flat, looks pretty good. And it was only a few passes. And I didn't even oil the plane at all. So if I oiled it, it would have been a lot better. Everyone, welcome back into the shop. Honestly, it's been a while since we've done one of these kind of videos. I just want to show you a few planes that I picked up recently. The first one is the Stanley No. 148 match plane. And this is a plow plane, a tongue and groove plane that you just alternate sides on. So the one does the groove and one does the tongue. This I picked up from an antique shop, and honestly, it's in super nice shape. It has both cutters. The nice thing about this plane is there's no moving parts. You really can't. There's nothing to adjust. It's good for 7/8 inch stock. So I've just been doing some test fitting on some pieces of wood that we'll get to later on in the video. I don't see these typically pop up that much. Obviously you can get these on eBay, but I've only ever seen one in an antique store, and I've probably been to over 10 of them. And so when I saw this one, I had to get it, and it's in really nice shape. Not super sure on the year. And this is the next one. So this is a Stanley number 82. This is one of their card scrapers that they made. This one does have a scraper with honestly like a 45-degree angle at the side. It's got an adjustable knob. You can adjust the angle that you use to scrape at. So when you hold it and you pull it back, little adjustment here. I have a couple of card scrapers that you can just do by hand. I don't know if those are going to fit in here, but honestly, I've never seen too many of these. Like I saw a couple at the same store, but that was it. I've never seen one before that, so I don't know if these are super common. So if anyone has a Stanley 82 and is familiar with anything about it, let me know, because I'm just super interested in this tool. This one in particular seems to be in incredible shape too. This one, I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know if they're hard to find, but this one is really, really nice. And I got it for like 15 bucks, which is just insane to me. So that's another one. This next one is probably one of the best planes that I've ever found just out in the wild. Particularly because it came in the box, and the box is pretty beat up. But if you can see on the side, someone taped over all the markings, but at one point it said, Stanley Tools plane, but it looked like it was just left in, an attic or basement, and then just kind of got eaten up. But it came in the box, and I've never gotten a plane that came in any original packaging. So this is a Stanley number 6, or sorry, Stanley number 5, Stanley Bailey. And honestly, it looks like it was used once. There's like light markings on the sole of this plane. It's a flat sole bottom. It's not the corrugated one. The knobs look to be all original. There's just little to no wear and tear on this plane. The only wear and tear is just somebody must have just been holding it for a while. Here, there's some light markings on there, but honestly, that's it. The brass is all really nice. It just needs oiled. The blade itself has a chip on the left side, but honestly, it looks like a chip that was made because it was put down on something. And I say that because the rest of the blade looks to be in pretty good shape. It looks like it just hit something. So I gotta fix that. But this is one of the nicest planes that I've ever gotten, and I got it for $5, which is wild. It was at a random garage sale. I was just out and about one day, honestly on my bike, and I went there and I saw this in the box, and I just couldn't believe it. And they were moving, and they just wanted to get rid of everything, so and that was the only plane that was there. That was like the only tool that was there. So super random, but honestly, that's how I found most of my hand planes, is just random locations. I've been out at antique stores, and it's honestly the places that I think that I'm not gonna find it, I end up finding it. So really weird. But I'm gonna shift to the bench now, and then I'm gonna show you some of the planes. All right, so we're at the bench, and if you're familiar with this, this is my piston vice mount here. So I just got a few just pieces of pine, honestly, that I'm just going to be doing some testing on here. You can see that I already ran that plane through this. Just real quick, I did the tongue there, if you can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and just set up this here, make sure I'm going, see, with the grain there. And let's go ahead and set this up. So I'm just going to do a couple passes, nothing crazy. So there we go. And we're done. See that? Pretty flat, looks pretty good. And it was only a few passes. And I didn't even oil the plane at all. So if I oiled it, it would have been a lot better. But pine is a little easier to work with. I did on oak earlier, and I need to sharpen the blades. Pretty good shavings. Seem to be a little shorter, so it must have, you can see that, it must have broken off in the middle kind of there at some point. So the blade probably needs to be a little sharper, maybe a little shallower too. But pretty good plane. Really can't complain with that. And also, I just love how easy it is to use. The whole plane looks really, let me move my light here. The whole plane is in really, really good condition. There's just no markings at all on it. Like, this thing was probably just a shelf item, to be honest. I mean, even in here, there's just little to no sign of any use. And I mean, like, you can see it was set down sometimes right there, but I mean, just overall, it's just in phenomenal shape. This cutter was in really bad shape. It was rounded off, so somebody must have just been sharpening it that really just didn't know, or maybe just didn't have this tool when they bought it, because the cutter needs to be flat to get a good groove and to be a tight fit. So by rounding it, basically just negates the whole point of this tool, because it creates a wobbly fit. So I have to square that off again. And I'll show you where I can square that off. I just set up a little hand grinder in my shop here, but this one is in good shape. So it's weird that this was sharpened correctly, but this one was not. So maybe this was just like a swap into the tool, like after the fact. I don't know, but that's that one. Let's get up closer to this Stanley 128, just in absolutely phenomenal shape. You can see the wood there. I mean, this thing has been taken care of. This, I'm guessing, was also just a shelf item, not actually used, because if you look at that, I mean, there's just nothing. It's just in excellent shape. I mean, look at the knobs. I mean, there's not even any. I mean, there's just nothing on this. This thing looks brand new. So that was a super good find. Again, just a random spot. I wasn't looking for it, but let me show you how nice a shape the number 5 is in. So you can see the number 5 Bailey right there in USA. There is markings on the top of the cutter. You can see that on the blade, Stanley, made in USA. There is vertical markings on the adjustment right there, so you can see that as another indicator. There's no date in here, and again, it has the flat bottom, but really, really good condition. I mean, there's just not many, just little light scratching. You can see that there's some swirling, so maybe at some point somebody just did something there, I don't know, but there is a chip on the blade, you can see that. So I'm guessing maybe it was just set down on something, but this thing does not look like it was used much at all. The knob's in really, really nice shape. Again, needs to just be lubricated a little bit, but everything is just super nice. So really can't complain at all with this tool. This is really, really nice. My other number 5 I'll show you is not in this shape, so I'm happy to have found this one. Let me get my other number 5 here. This is my number 5 before that. This thing looked like it was left out just outside, just got rust and corrosion on it. The bottom is just, you know, I haven't touched this at all. I haven't cleaned this up at all. But this is what a lot of my other planes, kind of the shape they came in before I cleaned them up. But I'm happy with all the components on this one, because this one, I believe, is the same generation as the other one, because it has the same kind of markings. The only thing I can't tell if it has the vertical Stanley on there, but it has made in the USA, Bailey, doesn't have any dates, and has the number 5, and it does have the brass knob. So I think that this is the same generation. It also has the lip on the front and back, so I think it's the same plane. It just is what the plane, you know, really should look like for how old it is. So super excited to have that number 5. And okay, I think that's really it for what I want to show you. But this I'm super excited about, because I'm going to be using this to build a couple things. So actually, let me show you a couple of legs I got here. So I found these table legs that I'm going to be using to make, I don't know if I'm going to make a little end table or a little side entryway table, but I have 4 of these. They come about waist high, so they're perfect for a table. So I have 4 of them, so they're really, really nice shape. I got these at the estate sale, and they were just giving them away. So got 4 of them to make a table. And I also got an old door that I've taken apart, and I got a bunch of wood from that. So we should be seeing some more shop content, hopefully, coming up. So anyway, that's all the new planes I got. I'll do a kind of a larger overview video of all. Let me move this here, of all the planes I got there. I think that'll be a fun video as I'm kind of building this out. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.